Hi, and welcome to the Mathematics Implementing the MYP Curriculum workshop. My name is Martin, and I'm going to be your facilitator for the duration of that workshop. This is a Category 1 workshop, which means that it is designed for teachers who are new at teaching the MYP program. I hope everyone is fine, that all of your families are healthy, that you're ready to attend that online workshop for the next 4 weeks. So I'm going to go through today a little bit like the first week of the workshop and the webpage actually, because the first time I attended an online workshop, I felt a little bit anxious at first. So in order to relieve anxiety, we're just going to take a look around in order for everyone to feel more at ease and to be ready to participate in the activities asked in the first module. So let's start. What do we have? There are links here on the top of the pages, but often I prefer this one on the left. If you don't see it, it's with the hamburger menu, which I call. So you just have to press it to access it, and then you go from one page to the other, and you can see that actually your workshop is here, like the October 2020 workshop in mathematics. So let's start by the workshop homepage. So this is the first place where you want to go. The announcements are going to be here. I'm going to post one very soon, but you can go back to the announcements later. The coffee corner is a place where you can meet. It's like to socialize, but it's also a place where I ask you to present yourself, to introduce yourself. I did it already, so you can read about that here. I'm not going to say everything, of course, because I know you can read. Next, the resource library. In each module, I put the document for you to access specific to each module, but you can also go to the library to find the different documents. For example, if you want to see the program standards and practices from 2014, if you have visited an IB visit this year or perhaps at the beginning of the other year, then you will like to access that guide. But since from now on, the standards and practices which we are going to use are the 2020 standards and practices, then this is the one which I put in module 1, for example. But you can go at the bottom and download the whole folder, because at first I went from document to document the first time I attended an online workshop, but you can download the whole folder and keep it somewhere in your computer. Going back to the workshop homepage, the completion criteria, you can read it. It's actually what's expected of you. Perhaps what I can say is that the week for a workshop starts on Wednesday and ends on a Tuesday. You do one module per week. You don't post anything for module 2 before next Wednesday, because the idea here is that when you do the learning engagement activities, the other colleagues will comment on what you do. So the idea is not to go exactly at your own pace, but to follow approximately the same pace with the other participants, so that when you post something about all at the same time, you're all also commenting to everyone. So at the end of the week, often I would like you to go and comment the work of others. I know that our reality might be different from one person to the next, so I understand that sometimes some people will do more work during the weekend or at another time, depending on your situation. But there's like the idea of starting the activities at the beginning of the week, going back in the middle, which is pretty much the weekend, and then at the end of the week, finish activities if they have not been completed, and then to comment, at least post 2 comments for each activity of your colleagues. So we have a group from people from all over the world. So that being said, that means that we don't have the same time zones. So that's why the structure of the course is meant that way, is to induce collaboration, but considering the different time zones, we try to find a way to do that. And even though it might be less personal than on a face-to-face workshop, what I've experimented is that I've made friends actually with some colleagues which I've worked with during workshops. Also, since it's on a 4 weeks period, I saw that we have the time to understand things and perhaps things a little bit further. When it lasts only 2 days and a half, it goes very fast. So sometimes the reflection is deeper in that kind of workshop. So that's interesting as well. But to keep it a little bit more interactive, I'm going to be also doing some live meetings, probably 2 per module, in order for the people from different time zones to be able to attend. Okay, so that's basically the idea. So the other 2 things you had already, technical advice like module and learner's toolkit. The collaboration BBB is for Big Blue Button, is like Teams or Zoom or Google Meet. You can just access a room anytime with any of your colleagues and talk there, or with me if you have issues or questions. Okay, things if you want to meet a certain time, it's like a it's not a specific time. It's just you just go in the room and start meeting with someone of the workshop. So that's the idea for the workshop homepage. Of course, here you have the participants. You can access the emails for me and send me an email. For the learning questions forums, what I would say is that I've put a link to a Padlet which I would like you to use, because you can ask questions, perhaps post some needs and concerns, and also resources that you want to give to your colleagues. So it's like a place where I can collaborate as well. And sometimes I will answer, and sometimes it's another one from the group, another colleague which will answer, and that's perfectly fine, because you know things. The idea here is to take what we know and to try to just understand the IB philosophy and to work with it into your classroom. The overview it's like a little document which makes an overview of the 4 weeks. You can read it. Then you go to module 1. There are always like a document which presents you like the activities. It makes a link, so it's important to read it, and you read a few pages and then you get to first and learning engagement and on until the end of the module. So it's like something which you will access a few times during the week. Then in the learning engagement forums, you just click on it. So the first one are for videos. You have to watch at least one of them. You don't add a new topic. I've started a topic. You can just reply to what I did. There are 4 videos, so I've put 4 posts, and you can reply for example, to the value of differentiation video. You just reply here if you want to comment on that one. Okay, so that's the idea here. When you have finished learning engagement, you can go through the next by clicking here or going back to the module 1 on your left, clicking here, and then you see the second one. You see here that I've put a document which is the learning engagement template, which you will use to answer the questions in learning engagement 2. And then what I can say, perhaps I'm going to make a reply of my own post just for you to see. If I press on reply, you can press the advanced here button, and when you're clicking on advanced, you're going to see that you have a place where you can put the files. So in that activity, you will download the Venn diagram, you will record your thoughts, you are going to answer the questions. In that message box, you will answer the last question, which are what conclusion can you draw regarding teaching and learning, and your Venn diagram will be put here. Okay, and it's going to be like an attached file, and then you do post to forum. You have 15 minutes to modify it once post. So this is the second one. Going through the third one, I've thought before about the program standards and practices from 2020. So again, if you have a visit this year, you might use the 2014 version, but I would prefer you to get used to the new standards. For it's called Do You See What I See, because it was standard C, but now if you click on it, you're going to see that it is the 04 standards, and you have the standard, you have the practices, and you have some more specific standards for the MYP. So you can read it and list a few things as asked. Again, by replying to my post, you can answer. So that's alone. The fourth one, the learning engagement 4, is going to be in Teams. I'm just waiting for everyone to have access to the workshop before I make the Teams. So here it's to make the link between the aims of mathematics and the IB learner profile. To help you, of course, I've put the mathematics guide here, and the learner profile is in the guide, but I've given you a template which I am opening right now. Sorry, because for the page it's a little bit different. What you can see actually is on the second page all of the aims, so you can write them down, and in Teams try to see how by aiming at these things, developing these things for the students, you can develop the learner profile for your students. So it's to understand that learning is not only knowing things, but it's developing abilities and qualities, and that can be done by aiming at some things. So you have to do that as well. Sorry, I'm going back here. So you're going to post once again you are going to attach your so you download the table, you fill it, and then you attach it with your post in the learning engagement 4. And the last one, objectives forum, is in the mathematics guide. What you are going to see eventually is that it's the assessments for year 1 and all. Well, the objectives actually are there, and in these grids you are going to be able to analyze the difference between the first year, between the first year and the third year and the 5th year of the program. So that's what is asked here, okay, in the last learning engagement. So in module 1 you have a good overview of the philosophy of the IB. So you see that you have to engage in that workshop and to post many things and to comment about what others will write. So I hope that helped a little bit for you to be ready to engage in this activity, and I hope to see you soon. See you.